Oops. Hi. Oh my gosh, it is hot out here. But luckily, this area right here is nice and shaded, and this is where I'm going to be working in. Basically, I'm going to be just cleaning it all out so I can start planting some really beautiful shade-loving plants, because this area here actually gets a lot of good morning sun, and then it turns into shade as you see it now, and then late afternoon it goes into a little bit of sunshine, especially right where I'm standing at. Right where I'm standing at, I have some relentless tassels, those prickly, those awful weeds that nobody likes to deal with. Now, I wasn't going to film this because it's really a mess, but we all like a garden transformation. I know that I get inspired by seeing somebody make nothing or an overgrown area into something beautiful. So I really hope you enjoy this today. So that's what's in for today. If you're new to my channel, just clicking in for the very first time, my name is Juanita and I'm in zone 8. I live on 5 acres. So let's get started. On this side I have ground cover here. There's a lot of weeds here that need to be cleared out. I've got a boxwood, but the window's out for pruning it. The deadline basically is midsummer because you don't want to encourage new foliage after that by pruning it. I have an azalea here. I've got some columbine here. I'm going to totally remove this cow lily. Then here is the camellia that I actually started creating kind of like a tree form. I think I'm just going to tidy up the trunk of this and really give it a clean, nice trunk. I have a ton of hardy geraniums here, getting rid of all of it. I have an astilbe right here. I will keep that. I have a peony here. It's absolutely beautiful. I have a foxglove here, and then I have a foxglove right over there. Here's that salmonberry shrub that really did not amount to anything. So this is out. This camellia over here, I started removing some of the branches. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna remove any other branches depending on what it's gonna look like. I've got to really examine it. And then I have a lot of Ajula bungleweed over here with some creeping Jenny. Gonna be removing most of this out of here. I have another Delphine Eldora, so I'm gonna attempt to move it, give it some good soil. But yeah, that's what's in with this whole project. So let's get started. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to look at this camellia and kind of assess it and see if I can actually cut into it and then go from there. I want to see where the main branch is. So there is, yeah, I can, because this from right here, so I'm going to cut this branch off, and then this actually goes all the way here, and then I'm going to be removing this branch. That's going to be perfect for this. Love it. Okay. So yep, you got in the way. So something I like using is these little tiny alcohol swabs. These are great for first aid kit, but they also make a great pocket tool for cleaning off your nippers. And they're very easy to put in your back pocket. And if you turn your blade this direction, you'll get a much tighter cut against the trunk. So I'm going to keep that. And let's see, If I remove that, yep, I can remove that one too. Yeah. Snip this one off. Let's see. Take that one off too. And maybe that little one.
Can we work it out? Only time will tell.
Okay, so this is what I'm doing. If you can back up my Jeep right over like this way as much as possible. Okay. I'm going to tie a rope around here and then have you pull it out.
Why do you keep telling me nothing? But I know while you flash, at least they say something. Still I try to connect with you through your eyes. Your eyes.
Okay.
What is on
Yeah.
your mind?
Let her go.
Must be right across the line.
Yeah, that was pretty easy. You can back it up a little.
Feeling something that goes beyond us. Can we work it out? Only time will tell. It's gonna take a lot, 'cause we've been through hell. I can't be without you. I've tried and I failed. So can we work it out? Yeah. Only time will tell. I still want all of you and I know all your colors. And I guess 'cause of that I can think of no others. Yeah, I need you to breathe. Without you I'm lost. I'm lost, yeah. What is on your mind? I think it's time to
I've cleared out this side. I cleared out this side. And now I'm on the home stretch. Let's see how fast I can get it done. Okay, so I'm going to focus just from the corner of the home over to this direction because that's primarily where I worked. And anything beyond this side is for another project. But I did remove a lot of the Ajula bungle weed that was all over in this area completely. And it looks so much nicer. I pruned my camellia into what I think is a lollipop. I sealed all the wounds so that they are protected from any bugs or diseases. And it does have some buds on it. I'm guessing it's more leaf buds and getting ready for next spring's flowers because I've never known a camellia to bloom in the fall, but we'll find out. It does have quite a few of them. And I did cut quite a few limbs off of this. It was one huge shrub. I think this is going to look so much better than removing it entirely because that was the other option. I planted my orangeola Japanese maple tree here. Some of the sedums broke off of here, so I decided to plant them here. They do need to be moved over because this will eventually get much larger and wider, and then these will be covered. But sedums are very easy and forgiving plants to move around, so I moved Delphina Dora from just about right there. Didn't move it far, but moved it over here, propped it up. Looks absolutely beautiful. We'll find out if this will survive because you have to handle them with a lot of care, and sometimes they'll take the transplant, other times they don't. As I turn around over to this side, you can see now the Delphine Eldora, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous here. These bloom like I think in February, late winter. So if it blooms, then I know it took, well, I'll find out even before that whether it will survive or not, because if the leaves don't all fall down, that is an indication that it accepted its new home and it'll survive. Didn't do anything with the Hellebora other than add soil. I put all of the foxgloves that I found in this area and placed them all together. This one's whimpering a little bit, but outside of that, it's going to do fine, I think. Retransplanted this fern. This little fern looks really great. This is going to look beautiful in this garden, and it already looks beautiful as it is. This wire vine, I reduced the size tremendously. Didn't do anything with this fern. I had a lot of columbine that were over in front of the azalea over there. I transplanted them and split them into two different areas. One area being right here, so you can barely see that one, and then there's one here and one there. So I added those. Those will grow in clumps and they'll look really pretty right there. I added another of this pin rush. I don't know that I'm going to keep it, but I planted it here because I didn't have the heart to get rid of it. So there it is for now. There'll still be, just like the peony, will die down completely down to the ground over the fall winter months. So I left it just to give it some fall interest because of the pods. I think that adds to a different effect, but it's still pretty. And so eventually that'll look more fuller and much prettier. It is a very pretty flower. I think it's pink in color. And then I just cleaned everything. Here's the other trio of the columbine, which I placed one here, one over there, and one over here. But I again removed all the foliage bits because they were filled with powdery mildew. I removed this Delphine Dora that was basically about right here and moved it over, not very far, just like the other one, and it looks like it's doing fine. We'll see down the road. And if it doesn't, I will replace these with other shrubs. The azalea didn't do anything to it. I think it looks fine. Was going to move it, but decided to leave it. This is another camellia that I turned into, again, kind of like a lollipop. And I think it looks really good. And again, this one also has what I'm guessing is more leaf growth that's coming in. So we'll see what it looks like next spring. This was also one huge shrub that really covered from here to there. And so it looks so much better. And it's better to prune them and make them into some type of tree form than it is to remove them completely. And then I also cleaned up the trunk of it, sprayed it to heal those wounds, and cleaned up all of the, there was some cow lilies, there was some other type of ground cover, as well as lily of the valley that was here. Removed all those. Then there was I'll put the name down because it escapes me right now, but there was all this that looked like morning glory that I removed. So yeah, so this is where I ended up, and it looks fantastic. I absolutely love it, even at this point. Now this is an area I really don't walk through very often, but it's still an accomplishment that I'm really happy that I've done. Now I did also clean out my clematis over here. I did leave some of the flowering pods just for some winter interest, but it's looking so much nicer than it did before. It really needed some TLC. Stay tuned for part 2 on this because there is so much more that needs to be done. I still need to add soil to this side, soil to this side, and mulch on the center as my walking path. Eventually I will be also adding an arch or a gate here with a little bit of a fence on this side and on this side so the deer don't come in here, because eventually I will be adding a lot of hostas over in this side, and deer do like hostas. I don't know that they've been eating anything out of this garden bed this far, but I did notice that the Delphine Eldoras, both of them were flopped over, so it's clear deer trampled over them, but they're nice and pretty now, and so I'm really loving it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. It is amazing how you can transform a garden space. It may take work, but what you come out of it is a beautiful space and a clean slate for more gardening. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on my next project. Have a good day, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Love you, and thank you for watching.